So crucial. If you have 10 clients that are in PPC, you need to sell one every month just to break even on the net growth. If you sell SEO and you have 10 clients, you need to sell less than one. This is so huge when it comes to scalability, right? For me, SEO is such a killer product to make sure that you're including in your offering in your digital marketing agency. So without any further ado, let's jump in. I want to show you why you should be selling it, what you should be doing, what the benefits are, the retention, the model, the scalability, and I'm going to convince you. I'm going to convince you by the end of this video that you have to be selling. In fact, it might even be the core thing you're offering. So without any further ado, let's dive right in. All right, guys, let's jump right in. So number one, why do we sell SEO? What is it even good for? What does it even mean? How do we convince our clients that they need it, all this stuff? And oh my gosh, my clients, they want quick results. They don't want to wait for the results. I've heard it all before. I've heard it all before. Now, for me, listen, guys, I'm not the smartest guy in the world. I really like to follow what other people are doing. Like if I looked at the top 100 biggest agencies in the United States right now, the largest ones, what are they doing? And the reality is that most of them are selling SEO. Most of them are selling PPC, and a very small fraction are really leaning on the intricacies of Facebook. And so we got to learn from them. We got to understand, like, what are they doing? And why are they doing it, right? So number one, with SEO. So for me, when I'm talking about SEO, I want to give a couple of analogies that hopefully will help you on this journey, all right? So when I'm talking about SEO for a client. So number one, I like to look at SEO as a highway, right? So on this highway, we're on this interstate, and every single keyword, terminology, whatever you want to look at is a certain interstate, right? Now, with this interstate, like anywhere in the world, there's typically a speed limit. In the US, it's normally around 70 miles an hour. Well, with 70 miles an hour, this is a law. If you go 71, if you go 72, you're breaking the law. You could get in trouble. You could get pulled over. Now, is the likelihood there? Probably not at 71, 72. You see, driving 70 miles an hour is like what we call white hat SEO. It's going by exact rules of Google, which we'll go over here in a second. It's the exact methodologies of Google. Now, gray hat SEO is, well, you go 75, you go 76, 70, we're not gonna get pulled over. I mean, like, could we? Maybe. Is it possible? Yeah. Could they give us a ticket? Absolutely. But highly, highly unlikely. You see, whenever you're talking about getting on the highway, we wanna get to the front of the pack as soon as possible. We wanna get to where we're going as quickly as possible. And on this interstate, on this highway, speed matters, but also when do you start matters, right? So if you think about this interstate, there were people that started years ago. I mean, just having a website is doing some sort of SEO. Like Google actually says the history of your site helps and impacts your SEO. So even being on the interstate, as long as you're walking, you're still moving. Now, if I jump on, I'm going 80 miles an hour, I'm gonna catch up very, very quick, right? But everyone's on the interstate, it's how fast you're going. Now, of course, we all know if you start going 95, 100, it's just a matter of time before you get pulled over, you get a ticket, and in Google's eyes, that's actually disband, de-indexed from Google, right? And so we get this analogy, right? Now, Google is actually, it's so interesting. Google functions kind of like us humans do, right? Like their sole job, their sole goal is to put the right people, the right clients, the right audience, the right searches in front of searchers in that exact moment. Like when you go to page 2 of Google, they're like, ah, man, I failed them. I didn't give Gretel exactly what she wanted, right? They want to give you the exact information. Well, there's two ways Google determines the value of a business or a link or a website to put in front of someone. And again, it's very similar to how humans do, right? One is what you say. Your image, your content, how you talk, how you interact, what comes from you. And the other one is what other people say about you, right? So the friends, the people you know, one hand, what they say matters, right? You're like, man, this guy's really smart, or they're intelligent and all this. But also it's what other people say about it. Same thing with websites, right? So is your content good? Is it clear? When people go there, are they engaged? Do they stay on? Do they go to many pages? How much content do you have on any given subject, right? These all matter to Google. But on the other hand, it's also about what other people are saying. Press releases, web links, backlinks, all this different stuff of what other people are saying. right? And so for my job as an SEO company or any agency out there, my job is to build rapport with Google by one, making you look better, smarter, more efficient, all this good stuff, but also increasing what other people are saying about you. Wow. And if you think about this interstate again, we want to go as fast as we can on this interstate without going too fast to get us in trouble, right? Now, with SEO, once we understand the logistics and how it works, it's all about making sure that it's serving the client really well. Here's what we know. For me, there's a couple of things when selling SEO versus Facebook. Number one is just my general question. If someone needed a plumber, if they needed a roofer, if they needed a lawyer, if you need something, where are you typically going to go to find it? You're going to go to Google, right? You're going to go to Google. You're going to go to Facebook? No, you're not going to go to Facebook. You're going to go to Google, right? And 80% of searches online, right now today, 80% of clicks online with Google is organically done. 80%. Most people skip the ads, and that's cool. They're going right to the organic search. I'm telling you guys, you have to be organically stable within Google. So how do I sell it? Well, number one, guys, it's really simple, all right? Normally what I do with a client, let's say I have a roofer in front of me or a plumber or anything like that, all I'm doing is going, hey, Josh, listen, you're a roofer. One of the biggest things I want to do is make sure we're profitable, right? Where are our clients coming to find us? So let me ask you, Josh, like, if you needed a roof, where would you go? Now I shut up, be quiet, I listen, and I wait for them to answer. Eventually they'll say, Google. All right, cool, I think you're right. So Josh, if you would go to Google, what would you type into Google? If you needed a roof, what would you type into Google? Well, roofer Little Rock, or roofer Arkansas, or roofer whatever city, right? Okay, cool. Then I jump right into the computer and I do the search right there with them. If I'm on a screen share, I do a screen share. And I show them, look, you're not here, you're not here. And then you put a little bit more pressure and you go, who's Bob's roofing? Oh yeah, that's my competitor. Who's Jeff's roofing? Oh yeah, I know Jeff. You're not even an option. I'm a huge Cowboys fan. Cowboys don't even ever make the playoffs anymore. There's not even an option for them to win the Super Bowl. They're not even there. Our goal for SEO is to get our clients there, right? Now let's talk about scalability. One of the things that I look at very closely in our organizations and the agencies that work with, our franchises, so on and so forth, is going, how long are clients actually staying with us? Like, sales is great. Bringing on new clients is awesome, but how long are those clients actually with us? I've seen so many agencies get so pumped because they hit 10K in 60 days, but in the next 60 days, those clients leave. Here's the stats we found. Across all of our research, Facebook ads have an average churn of 25% a month. You have 4 clients, you're gonna lose 1 every single month, right? PPC is around 10 to 12% per month, and SEO is around 5, even as low as 3% per month. What does that mean? Well, that means that when you're thinking about bringing on a client, you keep them on. Number one, you're setting the expectation. This is a long-term relationship, right? This is gonna be 6, 7, 8, 9 months to get you on page 1. So the client's normally already coming in with that mindset that it's long-term. Number two when it comes to this is that if you have a client, if you're losing 25% of your portfolio, and let's say you get up to 20 clients, you gotta be selling 4 every month just to break even. Forgive me, you gotta sell 5 every month just to break even, right? That's so crucial. If you have 10 clients that are in PPC, you need to sell 1 every month just to break even on the net growth. If you sell SEO and you have 10 clients, you need to sell less than 1. This is so huge when it comes to scalability, right? Last company I was with, we had 1,500 clients and predominantly in pay-per-click, which means we needed to sell about 120 clients just to break even. Churn is so important. You gotta measure your numbers, and the data shows us that SEO is the most dependable, stable product. In fact, what does it look like to attach your revenue to a stable product, and then the one that's volatile, because we all know Facebook and these other services are more volatile, what does it look like? Hey, I charge $2,000 for SEO, but here's the cool thing. Facebook is an amazing service. It can do a lot of good, but it also is really volatile. So client, I don't even charge for it. If it works, awesome, we both win. If it doesn't work, cool, we pause it. If you do SEO with me, I will do your Facebook ads for free. right? I want to attach my revenue. I want to attach my relationship to a product that I think I have the best shot of having the longest relationship I can with any given client. Now let's also talk about scalability, right? So let's measure this against other products. So whenever it comes to scalability, one of the important numbers is how many clients a specific account manager can actually manage, right? An account manager is someone who's having communication with those clients. Let's say you have a white label fulfillment company or internal, but they actually account manager level. What we've seen in our data is that Facebook and PPC clients normally need on average a call every 2 weeks. And typically in the beginning time, even once a week, right? Which means that an account manager can probably handle around 30, 35 clients. And they got a full-time job, right? 30, 35 clients. SEO, typically on average, you're looking at closer to a monthly call. Some clients every other month, some clients a month, but just because it's a slower process, you have a lot less clients, which means an account manager can actually manage up to 75 to 80 clients. Well, this is huge. So if you're charging $1,500 for each of these services, even if you're charging less for SEO, let's say you're only charging $1,000 for SEO, that's $75,000 in revenue for one account manager, compared to $1,500, that's only $40,000, $50,000. Well, now this cycle continues. Now instead of being able to afford a $10,000, $15,000 a month client manager who's like, I mean, crazy good, I can only afford a $6,000, $7,000, right? It's a huge difference in the ability to be able to scale, right? Let's talk about margins. Oh my gosh, like Facebook, the margins are huge. Man, what's the going rate? Most agencies that I'm seeing are charging $1,000 to $1,500 for Facebook ads, versus like a fulfillment, it's like $300 to $400, $500. It's huge margins, and it gets exciting. It gets pumped up. SEO, I'm normally seeing around $800, $750, $900 margins, less. But again, go back to the lifetime value of these clients, right? So here's my encouragement with this video, guys. Here's my encouragement, and I would love your thoughts. I love your feedback and ideas. Tell me something, why you haven't started or why you have started. I would love your insights. I read every single comment, and I definitely will try my best to reply to every single one of them. Here's my encouragement. At the end of the day, there are many different ways. There are many different paths to scaling an agency. There's many different goals. I want to employ 1,000 people at height, right? So I need a lot of clients. But most of my friends, man, they want 20 or 30. All of us have different. The one thing I will leave you with is to measure your goals. Measure your goals, measure your progress, right? Actually understand your data. How long are these clients living, staying? Lifetime value of each one of these clients, and really understanding what's happening. Data, knowledge, data is king, knowledge is power, all these great things, guys. I hope you guys have an amazing day. If you like this video, be sure to share it, comment, like it, all those YouTube things, and I look forward to engaging with you in the future.